What if I told you that the world you see, the values you hold, the very fabric of your society could be systematically reshaped without a single bullet being fired? What if there was a blueprint or change so profound, so effective, it could transform a nation in a generation? This isn't fiction, it's a strategy, and it's happening. In 1990, two Harvard-trained authors, Marshall Kirk and Hunter Madsen, released a book that would send shockwaves through the world of social engineering. After the Ball, How America Will Conquer Its Fear and Hatred of Gay in the 1990s. This wasn't a philosophical treatise. It was a six-point comprehensive strategy to fundamentally alter Americans' perception of homosexuality. And they were brutally honest about it. They called it a practical agenda, a program of unabashed propaganda, firmly grounded in psychology and advertising. Think about that for a moment. Propaganda, not just to inform, to convert minds, whether people like it or not. And here is the chilling part. This plan worked. It was so devastatingly effective that in just over 2 decades, it transformed a deeply conservative Christian nation into one that openly celebrates every aspect of this ideology. But why should you care? Because this isn't just about America. This exact same strategy, with calculated modifications, is now being observed in other societies, particularly the Muslim world. If allowed to execute, this plan could reshape societies even faster than it did in the West. Let's break down this powerful, often invisible agenda. Phase number 1, desensitize. The flood of normality. The first pillar, desensitization, and the goal is to make the topic of homosexuality so commonplace, so unremarkable that it becomes utterly normal. Imagine perceiving sexual preference like your favorite ice cream flavor. I like chocolate, she likes vanilla, I am a heterosexual, he is a homosexual. This is the targeted neutrality. Kirk and Madsen wrote, to desensitize straights to gays and gayness, inundate them in a continuous flood of gay-related advertising, presented in the least offensive fashion possibly. If straights can't shut off the shower, they may at least eventually get used to being wet. It's about controlling the narrative, showcasing only the most favorable side, and strategically painting over any negative stereotypes. This isn't about dialogue. It's about conditioning, accelerated through every culture venue imaginable. TV, movies, music, books. You see it, you hear it, until you simply accept it. Phase number 2, Jammy. The art of shame and victimhood. We enter the realm of Jammy. This is where the emotional and psychological warfare escalates. The core tactics, portraying LGBTQ+ individuals as victims in desperate need of protection. Think anti-bullying campaigns. The goal isn't just sympathy, it's to make you feel uncomfortable. Kirk and Madsen explicitly outlined the bracket technique. They would show an anxious, beady-eyed preacher pounding the pulpit, railing against perverted creatures. Then, without missing a beat, they would cut to heart-rending photos of badly beaten persons or gays who look decent, harmless, and likable. The contrast is devastating. The intended psychological effect to make the viewer recoil, thinking, I don't like those maniacs. I don't want to be like them. Surely I am more compassionate. This self-appraisal reinforces a conscious rejection of homo-hatred and validates sympathy for the perceived victims. It's about generating shame, stripping away any self-righteous pride in opposition. And this leads directly to the next point, which is making the victimizer look bad. Those who oppose this agenda are painted as oppressors, old, out of touch, on the wrong side of history, intolerant, bigoted, and so on. The aim is to create a culture of silence. You wouldn't want to be associated with such labels. Would you? This silence allows the agenda to operate in full swing unchallenged. Then comes phase number 3, the Trojan Horse and legal transformation. Now, prepare for the most cunning aspect, the Trojan Horse. The strategy suggests emphasizing that same-sex acts are haram, forbidden in Islam, seemingly counterintuitive. But this creates a dangerous illusion of upholding religious values. It allows proponents to say, yes, the act is haram, but we must support the rights of the victimized minority. This is the bait and switch. It fools communities into believing that while the behavior is forbidden, supporting the rights is permissible, even praiseworthy. This tactic, allegedly observed among certain scholars in the West, is now being exported globally, slowly infiltrating mainstream religious discourse. Alongside this comes step-by-step legal reform. Historically, laws criminalizing homosexuality existed in the West, but were systematically dismantled. The blueprint suggests a similar process for Muslim lands. 1. Abolish hudud punishment, framing them as barbaric to prime public opinion. Number 2. Decriminalize homosexual behavior, often through international pressure and sanctions. 3. Legalize social spaces. Gay clubs, bars, allowed to function openly. 4. Create protected legal status, granting legal protection against harassment. 5. Legalize same-sex marriage, presenting it as a right despite religious prohibitions. 6. Introduce hate speech laws, criminalizing any speech deemed anti-LGBTQ+. Then integrate LGBTQ curriculum into schools, mandating the introduction of this ideology to children, promoting love is love. Then dissolve gender separation, leading to gender-neutral bathrooms, enforce pronoun usage. After that, control parental rights, criminalizing parents who try to prevent gender transition in children. Finally, remove all discrimination restrictions, making any form of discrimination against LGBTQ+ illegal even in religious institutions. This isn't just theoretical. The Gay Rights Platform, formulated in Chicago in 1972, meticulously laid out demands that have systematically been met in the West over decades. From decriminalization of private sexual acts to legalizing same-sex marriage and implementing LGBTQ+ curriculum in schools. This wasn't national epiphany. It was carefully executed agenda involving persistent lobbying in media, government, and local schools. Then comes phase number 4, which is conversion, the final frontier, the ultimate long-range goal. Conversion. It isn't enough that anti-gay bigots should become confused about us or even indifferent to us. We are safest in the long run if we can actually make them like us. Conversion aims at just this. This isn't just about tolerance. It's about transforming emotions, minds, and worlds through a planned psychological attack. It's about subverting the mechanism of prejudice to turn hatred into warm regards. The proponents of this plan believe that by following these 6 points, the Muslim world could be fundamentally reshaped in as little as 10 or 20 years maximum. Here comes the unseen danger. Awareness is the first defense. This isn't about demonizing individuals. It's about understanding a powerful, documented strategy designed to fundamentally alter societal norms and values from within. While activists may deny a gay agenda, the historical record speaks for itself. The very communities this plan targets often face deep societal pressure. In many Muslim-majority nations, homosexuality remains criminalized with several penalties. Reports from organizations like ILGA document thousands of acts of violence crimes against LGBTQ+ individuals globally. So, when victimhood is presented, it can resonate, even if it's a part of a larger strategic framework. The true danger lies in the subtlety, the psychological manipulation, and the incremental erosion of established values. It preys on empathy, twists religious concepts, and systematically dismantles legal and social values. Understanding this plan isn't about fear-mongering. It's about awareness, recognizing the invisible currents shaping our world. Because in this silent war, knowledge is your most powerful weapon. I am Dr. Mohamed Fareed, and this is a Phoenix Project channel. Stay awake, stay powerful, defend yourself and your family.